Well, we got some time to make up for after missing out on last night. So let's get down to it, everybody. Don't think that I forgot what we were looking to do. I did, but I had to remind myself. We are a day before the trade deadline, and we have two problematic players that are probably on their way out. The first of which, unfortunately, is Jake Guentzel. We pulled off a really, really big trade to get Jake Guentzel, salary cap retention involved, and we wanted to bring him in to be a top-notch goal scorer. He's not. He might hit 20 goals this year, despite gold make it snappy, close quarters, snipe, relentless, I guess you could technically count as a shooting stat as well. Top hat, there's always hunts to defeat. He's been a big-time disappointment, and you could argue keep him to see what he can do in the playoffs, but if there is a proper trade for him, we're going to make that trade. Especially because the other big deal that we made was bringing in Cole Caulfield, who has been excellent. Absolutely excellent. So I'm intrigued to see who might be on the market in terms of a Jake Guentzel trade. Defensively, we're good. We're fine. We're better than fine. We're doing fantastic. Goaltending is the other issue. Blomqvist hasn't quite been good enough. He's got 1 year left on his deal at $4.8 million at the end of it. If we can find a trade for him, we probably will, because we have goalies in the pipeline that'll be ready to take over real soon, including Jack Ivankovic there. Even Gabriel Daggs getting the big season of improvement this year. So we'll see what happens. We will see what happens. It does come down to who's available here. It does come down to who's available. We'll list ourselves as conservative buyers, in a sense. And let's see who is out there. We got Vince Dunn, Dougie Hamilton, Luostarinen looking to move on from Tampa. So clearly they're not enjoying how the Guentzel trade played out either. Again, the problem is we could bring back Luostarinen, but we'd end up losing him anyway because he's too expensive long-term. Same situation with Alex DeBrincat. We'd be losing him long-term. Owen Tippett gets paid just a little bit too much money. Brandon Hagel's out there. Troy Terry. Oh, man. Shout out to Stubbs for the 20 months, though. Stubbs, what's up, man? What's up? What's up? All right, let's see who we can find. Let's see who might be out there. Apparently, Troy Terry's still available. Warrior, nice. I have not... I haven't even played. Terry, 13 goals, 29 assists. Gets paid too much anyway in terms of the retention. Robbie Fabry's out there. Let's see. Trying the new COD. It's going to be fishy. Because you see, the COD's also a fish. God, I'm a tired boy today. But we're going to make it through. Blake Coleman and Backlund, they're both so old. So old. There might not be a better option for Jake Guentzel. We actually might be stuck with Guentzel for the rest of the year. I'd have to get Detroit to retain on DeBrincat, who is a sniper that has 12 goals. There's no such thing as an actual top-notch sniper anymore. What the hell is going on? What the hell? This is ridiculous. Scott, that's tremendous, by the way. I appreciate the commitment to the bit. Warren Fogle, Drew Doughty, who just is at, dude, he's a minus 31. Kevin Fiala gets paid too much. He has 10 goals. Jesus. Mills, what's up, man? What's up? What's up? You know, Jake Guentzel might be here until the draft. Dougie gets paid too much. I think Gensel's going to be here until the draft. Good Lord. Owen Tippett's there, but again, 5.925 was still the most we could sign somebody for right now. Tippett only has 18 goals. Have we made the playoffs yet? Not yet. Noah Cates, obviously not a goal scorer, but is he is a good player, but Pittsburgh, Lars Eller, Pius Suter. There is not that good of an offer. Jared McCann. The problem... so Jared McCann has 26 goals. The risk here is whether or not he'd re-sign with us. How much would he be looking for? And that's tough. That's a real risk to trade for someone like Jared McCann and know that we might not be able to keep him long term. Tolvanen's on 13 goals. Burakovsky's on 7. St. Louis. Sod's too expensive. Again, Louis Dorinen, he's actually struggled on Tampa compared to what he was doing here. Yeah. Oh, good. The stats page is still glitched. That's fun. Glad the stats page is still glitched. We know Louis Dorinen won't be able to stay here. Paul, Mike Hoffman, Phil Kessel. I think we're stuck with Jake Gensel for now. Endo! Endurance? How's your face? How is your face? Aside from handsome. Yeah, dude, there's nothing. There's nobody to get. And trading for goalies is obviously risky as all hell. John Gibson. Reimer can eat a fat one. Are there any goalies that might be worth acquiring? Stolars has an 8.99. Vladar has a 9.17. Which isn't too bad. Like, from the looks of it, Jake Gensel is going to be stuck here, right? Yeah. Been able to talk for 3 days now, but I got a doctor. I'm sick for a week. Oof. 'Tis the season for the illnesses. But I hope you get well soon. Elvis? God, am I really going to sit here and try to rely on Elvis Merzlikins? Am I going to sit here and try to rely on Elvis Merzlikins? Darcy Kemper has a 903. Big Save Dave has a 903 in the AHL. Marc-Andre Fleury's been horrific. High Elite Tulipov. 23rd overall. Ivan Tulipov. Well, this is not shaping up. Shout out to Mozone for the 11 months. Welcome back. Almost hit our anniversary, Mozone. Almost. And you could trade Gensel for those futures. Well, I was thinking, like if we were to trade Gensel, we might as well hold on until the draft to make sure we can get as good of a pick back for him. Bennington, I'd need them to retain a little bit of salary, so it's probably not even worth it. He's not that much better than some of the other guys we've looked at. Olt on the 15. Thank you guys very much for the resubs to kick off the evening. I appreciate it. Olt, how the hell are you? It was a good weekend. So my wife's birthday on Friday, so yesterday I ended up missing stream just because it was a celebration, because of course she had to work on Friday, and that's never fun. But Aiden Hill? Ooh, Aiden Hill. How did they break the stats page? Well, at least we know Aiden Hill has 37 points in 62 games. Son of a bitchy. Come on. Well, I can't see how Aiden Hill's done recently, as in the last couple seasons. But we could technically try to go after Aiden Hill as an upgrade on the goaltending. We could. Because again, I don't think Blomqvist is the guy. At least he hasn't proven it this year. Or all the stats like that. So if you look at certain players, it can break it, and then you got to back out and then go back to it. It's a pain in the ass. See, I mean, Blomqvist has been fine, but nothing special. I think now's a good time to move on from him. Vanacek's been much better behind the same defense. We have Ivankovic in the system. Blomqvist, you had the beginning of the season to prove you could be the guy. I don't think you have proven that you could be the guy. So we're going to try to get Aiden Hill on a discounted rate here. Let's safety net this a little bit. There's no way this will go through. Chance there. Deeds, 66 months. After 66 months, I think you've proven to be the guy.
With the Patriots, Jack.
Am I the guy? Am I him?
Ruining a good piece of pizza.
I don't think I am. All right. Well, we're not going to be able to get as much back in this deal as I was hoping. Deeds, thank you for the resub, though, by the way. Hope you had a swell weekend. Straight up Blomqvist for Hill. Ooh, I got to give up a little bit more, huh? We're already missing draft picks this year, too, because obviously we needed to give up picks to pull off the blockbuster double trade for Gensel and Cole Caulfield. Do we have anybody that it makes sense to give up? Singh was low 6. Wilson is terrible. But he was huge, wasn't he? 6'6". What if we give up Ryland Singh, because he's not 6'6"? There you go. All right, Blomqvist or Aiden Hill, I'm good for it. I'm happy about it for now, until I'm not, which will probably be shortly. Unfortunately, Jake Gensel's going to have to stay here for the rest of the season. And let's hope if we indeed make the playoffs that he can find that playoff form. Because, again, 15 goals, it's not enough. It's not enough, Jake. It's not enough. But that's it. That's all we're going to do with this deadline. It's a little bit more quiet than I thought. Get a beer after watching that Niners game. Very typical Niners performance from the season. Very typical. Doogie the him man. Anybody on waivers? Hayden Fleury. Dude, Hayden Fleury is always on waivers in this game. I mean, technically we don't need him, so we won't bring him in. It's fine. All right. So, roster moves, just to make sure everything's set up the way we want it to. Hill and Vanacek in goal. We have our defenders there, and we are looking okay. It's just a matter of the order. And that's the question. We learned that Turcotte and Caulfield are one hell of a pairing together. One hell of a pairing. You told Gensel to get 50, and he had 50. His goal for the season was 50. You're not wrong, Marty. Oh, unfortunately, you're not wrong. Damn it. Damn it. Okay. So Turcotte and Caulfield need to be paired up. Caulfield has been scoring at a very high rate once we removed Gensel from his line. Gensel on the third line will probably drop his morale too far. So he still needs to be in the top 6. Honestly, I mean, so we could go Caulfield, Turcotte, Evangelista. Might be the right way to go. How good's Turcotte at face-off? 75. Coalfield on that right side has been scoring a ton. The top line did look like this. Probably shouldn't change it now that I think about it. I think the lines are good the way they are. Bauer, what's going on? I am doing very, very well. Hopefully you can say the same, if not better. Let me just double check the power play. Finisher, Caulfield, Drysdale. Okay, that's good. That works. Honestly, I'm not even going to split up Gensel and Caulfield anymore. Gensel's not hitting his 50. His target of 50 goals, so. And of course, the AHL is looking stellar. Aside from that -2. But all right, let's see. Got no choice but to keep Jake Gensel for the entirety of this season. We'll see what happens. We'll see if somehow the acquisition of Jake Gensel ends up being a negative. Which, I don't even... How is he doing so far, by the way, in Tampa? Jake Gensel. He's doing Jake Gensel things. That's fair. That's fair. Can you get Terrell Bauer for the AHL squad? I mean, maybe. Maybe I can. Maybe I will. Maybe he's already there. Maybe he's not. Maybe. We're going to make the playoffs. I also just yeeted my controller, so that's good. You know, I always sit there and I'm like, man, these things break too easily, but somehow, like, at least once a week, I fucking knock my controller off my desk. How do these things break so much? Boy, I fucking wonder. God damn it. All right, we are very close to clinching a playoff spot, and I think we got it with Solomon Cheveldave, our coach. There it is. The penny pinches. Going to the playoffs. All right. The Pinchers have made it. We have made it for the very first time. 43 wins, not bad at all. I mean, with the moves that we made, you'd like to think that we'd be okay. You know? But 44, 30, and 8. That is our final record as we, oh boy, get to draw the Buffalo Sabres in round number 1. That's going to be fun. That's going to be fun. Shadowstalker, what's up? Let's take a look at how it all played out. How long was that losing streak? Too damn long. But it is what it is. So again, we know that Toronto will play Florida. We will take on the Buffalo Sabres. The Ottawa Senators will take on the Carolina Hurricanes. And the Islanders will play the Columbus Blue Jackets. In the Pacific, it is Vancouver and San Jose. Edmonton will take on Dallas, Colorado, Chicago, Minnesota, and Nashville. So overall, we were 9th in the NHL. It's not bad. That's not bad at all. A Stone Cold approved, but not CTE believing 3.16 goals for per game. Goals against mid-table as well. Our power play percentage, mid-table. Our penalty kill, the worst amongst playoff teams. Okay, that's a little bit concerning. So we still need to score more. We need our defense to be better come playoff time. Cole Caulfield finishes the season with 93 points, 47 goals. I don't think he hit 20 power play goals. He had 9. But honestly, his turnaround this season was crazy. Again, to start the year in October, 1 goal in 10 games. 8, 10, 9, 12. He did have a bit of a quiet March, though. So I'm Not sure how to feel. Alex Turcotte was phenomenal with 52 assists. He had as many goals as Jake Gensel. No. That says so much about Turcotte, but also so much about Jake Gensel's season. 65 points for Ratu as he develops silver third eye. Pinto on 54 points. Like he's not a first line center. He's just not. Evangelista, a little bit worried about him long term too. Antonio Strongjiz, as he was deemed in chat, 30 points. Olesen was close. David Kampf was really good on the fourth line. Not bad for Weissblatt, Yarventi, and Dufour. They were what they were. Isn't Turcotte in a contract year? Yep. He sure is. He is an RFA, though. So we got that going for us. K-Town, what's going on, man? Defensively, Rasmus Sandin develops silver third eye. Leads all defensemen in points, just over Jamie Drysdale, who also now has silver third eye. Jordan Harris. Tremendous season for Jordan Harris. Nick Hague, of course, our captain. Doing very well. And then McCarthy and Osborne were just kind of what they were. Goalie-wise, Vanacek finishes the season on a 9-17. Aiden Hill post-trade deadline. Good Lord. Had a 921 save percentage in 13 games. A 7-5-1 record with a shutout. Not bad. Not bad, not bad. Let's see. Around the league. Around the league. Connor McDavid's league. It's Connor McDavid's league. Rantanen was up there. McKinnon, Hyman, Matthews, Nylander, Draisaitl, Kaprizov, and old man Sidney Crosby at 39 years old. Still an 89 overall. Goddamn. Goddamn. Yeah, 66 goals for Matthews. You had McDavid up there. Rantanen, McKinnon, Hyman, and Robertson all hit at least 50. Defensively, Cale Makar probably just won the Norris again. Great seasons for Hughes and Rasmus Dahlin, who we have to play in round number 1. Concerning. For the goalies, the winningest, the Hildebeest, Dennis Hildeby. In Toronto, you got Freddie Anderson and Stuart Skinner, the only goalies to break 40 wins. Shutout leader with 7 was Frederick Anderson. Save percentage king amongst full-time starters was Andrei Vasilevsky. Okay. And for the rookie, now you might recall, in a different timeline, Porter Martone would have been ours. We had the first overall pick in this draft. We traded to Buffalo at 3 as to not take James Higgins because we've already used him this year. I wanted to use a different player. Buffalo, instead of choosing or taking James Higgins, took Porter Martone. Chicago took Higgins. And we were left with Michael Misa, who, in fairness, Misa's insane. And now Porter Martone's going to go on to win the Calder. And then, unless they give it to Dennis Hildeby, which they might. How did Hildeby get 48 wins with 906 save percentage? He was just on a really, really good team. Yeah, really, really good team. The Buffalo Sabres in round number 1. Oh, and we got to figure some things out here, don't we? First and foremost, I'm going to go best lines. Just to see if it changes anything with the power play. I mean, in theory, those lines, as they are, should work. It's just that Jake Gensel does not want to score goals. He just can't. Why would I do that, he says. Ratu, 24 goals. Like, I have too many guys that are scoring too many goals instead of feeding the puck to the big-time goal scorers. I mean, it's not that big of a problem to have that many, that many playmakers. But what if, especially because Caulfield had a bit of a quiet March and April, What if for the playoffs we try Caulfield, Turcotte, Evangelista, Gensel, Ratu, Pinto, Olesen, and Stranges? Yeah, that should be okay. Maybe. Defensively, Haig, Drysdale, Sandine, Harris. Sandine's still a top 4 defenseman. Haig's the only top 2 defenseman on this team right now, which is still pretty surprising. Obviously, Aiden Hill's going to be our guy. We'll have to see. I think this team definitely still has its weak spots, right? Definitely does. Aiden Hill, though, will hopefully not be one of them. Reunited him with fellow Stanley Cup champion Nick Hague. Aiden, there is something we must do. We must bestow upon you the mask of our starters. The problem is, I don't think we really kind of decided what the mask of our starter was going to be. Outside of, like, you could do the Hershey Bears because that's probably the closest you can get. I'm trying to think of what other team has, like, brown as a primary color, or bronze, that is. I always forgot the other leagues are still on this tab. You just got to keep scrolling down. That's really weird to me. It is really weird to me. The Roadrunners? Nah, it's more red than anything. K-Town, it was a good football day. It was. Now, one might say, like, okay, does this really matter? Why are you doing this? This is time wasting. You're absolutely correct that this is time wasting because I have a very, very bad feeling about how the playoffs are going to go. So allow me to take this time to look up something arbitrary that we might never see in the game anyway. Shout out to the Graz 99ers. Holy hell. That's a sick fucking mask. Something along the lines of a money theme. Oh my God. That is the best mask in the video game. Holy hell. Looks like something at a fucking Yu-Gi-Oh, dude. What the hell? That's sick as hell. See, this is a smile. It's going to disappear the second we start this series against Buffalo. So allow me to enjoy this. I don't really think we have the money mask. I don't think it exists. I might need someone to go through and be like, hey, we found this one. Unless we go with Germany. Unless we go with Germany. That Kingston mask is sick as hell, too, in fairness. Maybe we go with the old Kingston mask. Why not? Why not? What other fucking team uses brown as a primary color aside from Hershey? I mean, I guess the Charlottetown Islanders kind of fits. Could give them the Hasek mask. Yeah. You know, I thought we'd have an easier time finding a selection for this. Now it is turning out to just be a big waste of time. That's okay. That's okay. The Sabres, because they're shit. Look, you're not wrong. But you didn't have to say it. Okay? You didn't have to say it. I mean, you know, the Wheeling Nailers one's not bad. Screw it. We'll go with that for now. Aiden, I need you to make saves, buddy. I need you to make saves. You have led a team to the Stanley Cup in the past, right? You have. I need you to do it again. I need you to do it again. Let's get confirmation. Actually, before we even do that, let's just look at the lines now for Buffalo because we'll be able to see team stats. The Buffalo Sabres. Oh, boy. That is some physicality. Not from Zach Benson. But they do have Zach Benson, 46 assists this year, with Tage Thompson, 28 goals, and 39 goals of Porter Martone. He should have been ours. Second line, J.J. Peterka. Dylan Cousins on 18 and 25. Alex Tuck. So they have a very similar offense to us. Scoring by committee. Jason Zucker, Alex Wenberg, Trent Frederick had 19 goals. Jesus. Yuri Kulik is there. The old Kulich. Ryan McLeod, Consta Hellenius. 32 assists as a fourth line right wing. Jesus. And that's where it gets worse. Owen Power and Rasmus Dahlin. Bowen Byram and the return of the king, Rasmus Ristolainen, once again on the Buffalo Sabres. I forgot to take a look at the post-deadline trades, and I apologize for that. So, there is that. And then third pair, Ryan Johnson with Harbor Jackeye, staying in the Atlantic. Goaltender, Ukko-Pekka Luukkonen. I imagine, though, Devin Levi is their starter. Didn't McLeod get traded? He sure did. Bachhoff, Rosen, Sundqvist. Okay, I mean, I don't think we're favorites in this series. I think that's pretty straightforward. I don't think we're going to be favorites here, but you never know what might happen. It is worth noting our AHL team, the Lincoln Loan Sharks, have made the playoffs as well on a 49-win season. So we're rooting for Lincoln. The party of Lincoln. It is game number 1. Misa Stillman Jr., yeah. Let's see what happens. My expectations are low, unless Jake Gensel can remember how to score goals. Let's see what happens. First pick. You know, my biggest takeaway from that, Jake Gensel didn't score. 5 goals in the first period. We chased Devin Levi in less than frickin' 13 minutes. Cole Caulfield on the power play. Antonio Strongjes. Jordan Harris, Alex Turcotte, and Ozzy Weisblatt. 5-0 to the PCPP. Second period. Cole Caulfield scores again. 6-0. PCPP. I mean, like, if we blow this here, okay, Luke Evangelista makes it 7. Let's not use up all our goals for the series in game 1, please. Please, dude, we are getting so many power play chances. The Sabres cannot stay out of the box. That's their problem. Jesus. The extra point was good. Craziness. And there it is. 7-0. Your final score in game number 1. A 32-save shutout for Aiden Hill. While the Caulfield-Turcotte combination, which is probably only going to exist this season, which is crazy. But that's, yeah, man, that's, oof. Okay. We're up 1-0. Over under on goals for the rest of the season. Oh, man. I'm going to say like 2.5. Funny thing is, we're only second in goals for per game. Somebody scored more goals than we did. It was Toronto. They scored 9 against Florida. Game number 2. Let's see what happens. I mean, my expectations are still low. That might be unfair, but they are still low. Sorry, wasn't it beautiful? First period. My biggest takeaway from this is that Jake Gensel still hasn't scored. Cole Caulfield, Alex Turcotte, Shane Pinto again. Devin Levi does not make it 13 minutes into the game. And Rasmus Sandin makes it 4. 4 goals on 10 shots for the PCPP. Second period. Goal apiece, Alex Turcotte. And after almost 5 periods of play, the Sabres finally get their first goal of the series with Zach Benson getting Buffalo on the board. Why is simulation paused? Continue. I didn't hit a button. Why did it pause? Alex Tuch scores on the power play. 2 unanswered goals for Buffalo. Successfully killed that off. Power play for the PCPP. No goal. But that should just about do it. 2 wins on the road for the Penny Pinches of Peg City. And that is a hell of a start to the series. Again, Turcotte and Caulfield, unbelievable as a combination. And Aiden Hill continuing to play incredibly well. This has been an excellent start to the series. Crazy. Absolutely crazy. Devin Levi has a .611 save percentage and an 1856 goals against average. Aiden Hill has a 969 with a 1.0. Game number 3. Whoops. Well, the up button didn't register, and we lose 5-4 in overtime. That's annoying. I hit up and then went to sim game, and it didn't do it, but at least we can check the box score. The Sabres do get the win, which again means that the home team has lost every single game, and the game-winning goal went to Porter Martone. That's annoying. So Drysdale, Cousins, Thompson's, Ratu in the first, Drysdale again in the second, Olesen forces overtime, and then Porter Martone wins it. So Buffalo's right back in the conversation. Drysdale did the best he could with 2 goals, but that really sucks to accidentally hit the wrong button there. Don't know if that would have cost us or not. Normally teams sim better from here. Game number 4. Not going to make any changes because of 1 loss, but there is somebody I haven't seen yet. First period. Jake Gensel finally scored. But it's 3-2 at the end of 1. Jordan Harris, Jake Gensel, and William Dufour, Yuri Kulich, and Zach Benson get the goals for Buffalo. Second period. Jesus Christmas. Lone goal for us comes from Gavin McCarthy, but they get goals from Tage Thompson with a frickin' hat trick and Jason Zucker. It's 6-4 Buffalo. Home teams in this series are cursed. Just the complete role reversal. Well, maybe not a complete role reversal, but I mean, similar struggles in terms of just allowing goals by the bunches. And despite getting blown out in the first 2 games of this series, the Sabres win back-to-back games on the road and have tied this series up at 2 apiece. Very, very, very annoying. Hill now down to a 905. Levi up to an 851. And this series is tied. Let's take a look at the fellas here, shall we? Flippity, we have limitations on what we can do signing-wise. Cole Caulfield, 8 points in 4 games with 3 goals. 8 points in 4 games with 3 goals for Turcotte. 1-1 for Luke Evangelista. Gensel, 1 goal, 3 assists, 1 goal, 3 assists, 1 goal, no assists for Shane Pinto. Right. There's a couple of different ways that we could set up that right side. We know Shane Pinto is going to get traded,
I'm
too.
just trying to walk through
That's
this
a
fucking
Zuber.
grass.
What a name. Or it could be Zubber. I'm not sure. Thank you for the follow. We're going to put Pinto on the top line. We're going to put Evangelista down on the third line. Might not work out exactly as I need it to, but we'll see what happens. I just want to give Ozzy Weissblatt a chance. I mean, really, what I'd like to do is this, but Pinto might get mad. Then again, I'm going to trade him. So, don't tell him that, though. We'll try some different things. Defensively, that top pair has been awesome. It's probably the third pair that's lacking. But, all right. Splash, what's going on? What's going on? Well, game number 5, back in Buffalo. This is going to be interesting because, again, the home team hasn't won a game in this series yet. First period, 2-1 to the PCPP. Turcotte and Caulfield. One of the best combinations in recent memory. Alex Tuch gets a power play goal for Buffalo. Second period, still 2-1. So we go to the third, very close game. Jake Gensel. Make that 2 goals in the series for Jake Gensel. I'd still like more, but at least he has 2. He and Shane Pinto are going to love their new teams next year. Or maybe not. Maybe they'll stay. Rasmus Sandin's empty netter seals the deal. 5-2 the final score. Do not go to a home game if you are a fan of the home team. You will see them lose in this series. We are 1 win away from the second round for the first time. 1 win away. The publicly funded Civic Center. Game 6. That is the site. As we try to close this out. AHL team, by the way, has been eliminated in round 1 by the Laval Rocket. That's frustrating because they had a really, really good season. Game 6. Can the home team finally win one? First period, 1-0 Buffalo. Porter, Martone. Second period, 2-1 Osborne. I always want to say Osborne. What kind of fucking name is Osborne? God damn it. Jake Gensel scored again. We are 20 minutes away from moving on to round number 2. If, it's a pretty big if, but if we can hold on, maybe even if we can get an insurance goal. Please. 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 It is the first playoff series victory in the history of the Peg City Penny Pinchers. Devin Levi had his best game of the series, and it did not matter. Aiden Hill, great game, and look at him. Jake Gensel. Scoring goals. Oh, and getting us to the second round. How do you like that? The Pennies with a big damn victory. I like it. I like it a lot. Cole Caulfield, 11 points in 6 games. He's so good. 11 points in 6 games for Alex Turcotte. He's going to want so much money. And Ozzy Weissblatt, 3 points, of course, had the last 2 games on that top line. But we don't look for him for offense. Jake Gensel, point per game with 3 goals. 4 points for Ratu. 4 points for Evangelista. 3 points for Oscar Olesen, Antonio Stranges, and Shane Pinto. I mean, we just had pretty good scoring across the docket here. That's not bad. Defensively, Nick Hague, 2 points and a +7. 4 points and a +8 for Drysdale. Sandin was really, really good, as was Jordan Harris. Osborne and McCarthy weren't even that bad. McCarthy, I should say, weren't even that bad. And then Aiden Hill, more than good enough. Good job, Aiden. Shrugged off a couple of bad games, but He got it done. He got it done. Can we see Turcotte's asking price? Yeah, so that way you can compare it to what it's going to be at the end of the year, because, no. Dude, he's gone. He's gone. This is it. Again, 6% of the salary cap is all we can sign somebody to. For Alex Turcotte, that means we are still looking at actually 5.925, not 7.5. But yeah, that is the most we could sign Turcotte to right now. And as you can tell, he is not the most interested. Although the no movement clause really does boost that up quite a bit. The no trade clause helps. It does help. That no movement clause could really come back to haunt us, though. I can't offer him any more than 5. 5 is the magic number for him. Is Alex Turcotte going to stay with this team to play alongside Cole Caulfield for the foreseeable future? We'll find out shortly.